Shoot.
It's a big question.
Probably the same thing as the Chiefs.
Amen. Actually, that is very true. And I like in that whole injury being out, like you remember the names of the mean stuff people say. Like I love it. It's one thing that I love to look at, I said, but like there was people around getting close to the finals that were commenting, they were like, as much as I hated on him, like he made Rodeo exciting. And I'm like, you guys are mean.
Yeah.
But then I come back, they were over it again. They said he's just guaranteed 10 extra points as soon as he shows up. And I'm like, you're right. I love it. I hate to be you guys. I get all the favors but I did a podcast with Dale Brisby the other day and I was talking to him. I was like, everybody was like literally believing that I might have ran the PRCA. Like no matter what I won and like people like were truly believing it. And I'm like, so I was starting to believe it also. I'm like, maybe I do run the PRCA and I don't know. But when it came into entering these rodeos, I was like, I was really wanting that blue shirt bonus and being Cody Wright's son and all of that stuff. I was like, I really want it to be a thing. And I'm like, it's not. They're not letting me in anywhere.
Blue shirt bonus. That's good stuff. I remember he walked by at the American the year that I won it. I'm sitting there and he goes, it's a good day to be wearing a blue shirt. You know, I'm glad I had those blue shirt extra points.
I was there for that one. That was a crazy day.
That was crazy, man. I mean, tough freaking job as a judge, first off. I mean, it's happening that fast. I know that they obviously know a lot more about saddle bronc than me, but when you're watching rides and stuff, it's so small of a discrepancy, you would think. I mean, me as a way lower level of fan, that's what it looks like. But
you've been around enough, and I agree with you. Like that, the bull riding, I think easiest to judge. Like pretty much whoever has the rankest bull wins. But the bronc riding, like I said, there's 30 guys or more that could all win the world title, and they all make the same ride every night. And it just comes down to like the very small details in rides that people don't see. And when you watch 7 rides go in one night and one of them wins, like people get pissed and they're like, they just let them win everywhere. I'm like, if you look at like across the board of how much Rusty wins, how much Ryder wins, how much Stetson, Spencer, Statler, Stewart, like how much they win, it's not as much as people think, but there's so many. They just look at the last name and they're like, it's bullcrap. They win everywhere. We do win everywhere, but not the same guys. Like we all like take our turns because we'll make a better ride this day or he'll make a better ride that day. So I do understand like people hating the fact that I would hate us. Like we do win all the time. And I'm like not trying to be like cocky, but there's so many of us. We're all taught by the same guy, our dad, and we all ride similar. And so, like, people hate it.
Do you think you have something that is just like a God-given ability? I mean, do you think your secret is your dad who taught you? Like, why are y'all so much better than the average saddle bronc rider?
I would say our mindsets, like if it's never going to happen, my dad's too quiet, but if anybody could sit down and get stuff out of him that he tells us, like you guys would understand, like they can't lose. Like he doesn't even allow it. Like he doesn't care if I rodeo or not. Like he'd be fine if I went off, did something else, but like whatever I'm going to do, he's going to have me so mentally sharp. And that's what I think separates me from even my brothers. Like I'm a big mindset guy, even though like I've had a hard time with the mental side coming back. I'm still winning. I'm still beating the thoughts that are coming in. And I bought into it when I was in high school, losing to Ryder every week. I just started saying, you're going to be the greatest cowboy of all time. Like you're never going to fall off. And like I bought into what my dad was telling me. And like a lot of people, like I've gotten not real arguments, but like disagreements with people. They're like, your stuff, like I don't understand why you look at it that way because the stuff you set isn't even realistic. And I'm like, how is it not realistic? They're like, you think you can win all 10 rounds of the finals? I'm like, why can't I? I'm like, I'm more than capable of doing it. If I can win 1 round, I can win 2. And if I can win 2, I can win 3, like on up. It's just all time, like whether it's going to happen or not. But people really don't understand, I guess, the way I think, which I don't try to make them believe it. But I'm like, the proof's in the pudding. Like, the way I think is, like, I set unrealistic goals. Like, my first unrealistic one was, I'm going to make $1 million in 1 year. Well,
you were close.
I was 960,000, I think. Like, almost did it. And people were like, holy shit. And then I'm like, maybe that's more realistic than I think. And so I told Kendra Santos, I'm like, I'm going to make 1.2 million. Well, that I haven't got back to rodeo since I said that, but like it's all been so close, and I keep setting stuff that most people don't think of, and most guys set out every year to make the finals. Like, that is their goal, to make the finals. I've never set a goal to make the finals. Like, I'm like, that's already a sure thing. Like, I'm trying to see how much money I can win, and I'm going to win the gold buckle. Like, that's my end goal, is the gold buckle. Because if you're shooting for number 1, you know how easy it is to fall into the top 15. Most guys that say, I'm trying to make the NFR, they fall into 16th to 20th every year.
There you go. I mean, yeah, like you said, set high goals, do everything you can to achieve it, and then if you fail, maybe you're still top 5. You know, go into the finals with a chance.
Yeah,
for a gold
shoot
buckle.
for the stars, land on the moon.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot. That same thing when I'm the exact opposite of you, actually. When I came into the PRCA, my whole goal was make the NFR. That's all I thought about for first 4 or 5 years. And then I'm like, man, why am I not setting my goals higher? I haven't improved since then. And I think it's first off because of my goal setting. You know, when you don't set higher goals, then why would you do what it takes every day to achieve it, mentally and physically?
Well, and just like that, you set your goal to make the NFR. You keep doing it. You keep doing exactly where your goal ends. It hits there.
And you're satisfied.
So, like, personally, I think even this year, you set your goal to not just win the gold buckle, but break Riley Webb's money record, or whatever Shad Mayfield's single season earnings record. I think he holds it.
Yeah,
I don't know. But like, setting goals pretty much to where Shad Mayfield and Riley are like, that's not even doable. Like, I did the undoable.
Right.
And then you blow that out of the water, and then people are like, holy crap.
You see
Ty
it.
is a beast.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, though, you say it about yourself, because Shad and Riley are the same way. Shad set a goal to break Riley's record, goes and does it. You know, Riley sets a goal to come back from $60,000 and does it. You know, I mean, so that's a kind of a common thread.
I like the way you did about the money, too, because if you set the goal with the money, you're going to be close to winning the world every time if your money goal is right.
Well, if you set it over that, you're going to crush the record before. Because that was when I got in the PRCA, like, the goal, I remember Sage Kimsey always saying it, like, I want to finish the season with 300,000. And he never did it. So I was like, I'm going to do 500,000. And I went into the finals of 23 with 360,000 won. It just in the bull riding.
Wow. But you just think, bro, like, before that, I mean, Sage was the man. I mean, how many did he win in a row?
7, right?
7 total.
He won 5 in a row. I won it in he won 6 in a row. And then I won it in 20, and then he won his last one in 2021.
But he's like, I just want to win 300,000, and it's like, before that, no one had ever done it. But then if you just let in your mind to be like, oh, well, if Sage couldn't do it, then no one can. Well, why not me? You know,
yeah, bring out that competitor in you. I mean,
well, that was the deal. When I showed up in the PRCA, like, everybody was so wrapped up in beating Sage, and I'd really looked up to him when I first came around. So I was just like, it's just an honor to be in the arena with him. But I'd always rodeoed with family, so, like, I was never trying to beat, like, Ryder. I was just trying to do my best to get somewhere. And so, like, I've never had that where, like, oh, I can't stand that guy winning all the time. Like, I've never been the jealous type. I was raised around world titles, so, like, I wasn't impressed by that stuff. I was more impressed, like, I loved the way Sage rode. I loved the way JB rode. And so, like, when I showed up, and, like, I was just like, I can I can win a world title. Like, there's no reason why I can't. And like, I just started like pretty much avoiding the head games that bull rider, because bull riders do it. They'll try to mess with you, and like, I'm just so dull to it. Like, I avoid it, and it works people up to the point to where, like, you pretty much mentally destroy your competition by not even trying to, just avoiding like the BS.
What are the head games they try to?
Just like, you get loaded. What was it? Because Sage said it to my rookie year, which it did almost destroy me, but luckily he probably wasn't even meaning anything too bad by it. I think it was just, I was a young rookie and he was just poking fun at me. Like, but I got off San Antonio. I rode a bull of DNH. It's called Firewater. I was 90 points in the first round of the Extreme Bulls, and I was pumped. And like, at the time, I was real young, so I wanted to walk past Sage and like get a good job. And he goes, "Imagine that, a Wright being 90 on an 85-point bull." And I mean, I went from the high to like, I was crushed, because I'm like, I've never been around somebody that's like knocked me, like tried to jab at me. But once again, I was young, I was sensitive. I just, but what he doesn't know, I walked in that locker room and I was like, Rusty Ryder in there, I'm like, Sage said I got loaded, like told him the story, and they walked up to me and they were like, he's scared of you because he knows you're going to beat him. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I went on and just won everything after that. But just that, surrounding yourself with the right guys. Well, I was with the right guys at the right time.